Picked it up here from Yellow, strapped it down, and now we're gonna start heading out. Here we are, made it to the land. Had to stop a couple times and trim some of this wrapping off. The wind kept ripping it. So let's do a quick look around. Paint looks nice. Nice big hunks of metal. Nice wheel. I'm really excited about this. We'll see once I get it off. We can do a full inspection and get it hooked up to the tractor. But their product looked like the most heaviest duty product I could get. I'll put a link to the description of the build demo that they did on their YouTube channel. Let's actually get a look underneath this thing. Oh yeah, that big sucker. Oh yeah, it spins nice and easy. These blades are hard ox blades. Looks good. I'm gonna go over to the front. Well, like I was saying, they're hard ox, which I haven't heard of that material before this. And it's supposed to be super tough and durable. That big stump jumper, although I'm not sure if you would actually classify that as stump jumper or stump eater, but it's got it. All right, well, anyway, so I'm gonna unstrap this thing, come in with the tractor, and just try to slowly pull it off and down. We'll see. That's plan A. Well, actually, that's plan B. Plan A was going to be lifting the thing up, but I think it'll be less complicated if we just drag this sucker off. All right, here's the plan. We're just gonna lift up a little bit here, curl the bucket a little bit to lift this end up just a little bit, and then slowly back it up. And then when it comes down to the edge, I can try to lower the bucket, and then, yeah. All right, here's the situation right now. I got my tractor jack on the pallet, lifting up the ass end. So the blade is clear, it looks like. Everything's clear, so I should be able to start the truck and just pull forward, and then I can lower this tractor jack down gently. So it's not gonna just fall off the trailer. All right, very good, worked like a charm. So now I'll just lower this tractor jack, and then the bottom pallet should touch, and then I can disengage everything and try to hook up the 3-point to lift the whole implement off of the wood. I'll cut all the straps, and that should be able to just lift it off these pallets. Okay, getting closer. That side over there is just about level. I wonder if I need to pull that one up just a hair. So it looks like, because this is locked right now, it's not floating. If I change this pin, to that, this will float and give me, I think I want it to float. And I think I need to raise that one up a little bit, which I think I can do with this. Okay, so I don't think it's that one, so maybe I can adjust it on this one, because that one was about at max. It wouldn't turn much more. But this one, I think if I undo down here, I should be able to. Let's see, I want to loosen that a couple threads. Okay, so going at the top here, I was able to unhook this, drop this down, and now I can spin this. So if I wanted that to go down, I want to tighten this a couple threads, I think. Alright, so let's put that back together. Okay, I got them all hooked up. I have that temporarily because I can't fit it in the right way without this going down lower, so I'm gonna have to wait until I can get it off the pallet and down on the ground so I can slide that pin back in. What else was I gonna do? I need to get the top link set up now. So once I figure that out, I'll show you. Well, I can't find it anywhere. Either it doesn't come with one, or maybe it got lost in transit, perhaps. Just not finding it. It's the top link pin, so I can actually lift it up. So I'm going to give them a call, and unless it's somewhere where I'm not seeing it, I'm going to have to run into town and get a category 2 pin, I guess. And then, yeah, I might need to get fluid too. I'll ask them if this is full of fluid or not. It says lubricate before using, so I'm not sure if it has lube or not. That's what it looks like. I got to battle this a little bit, but that's later. I just want to get it lifted up, but to get the wheel the proper length, or proper, you know. Okay, I'm gonna give them a call. All right, well, I went and got a kit of these to check the oil, and I don't think they're long enough, so I might have to go to town again to get a long, because I don't want to make tools out here. But I went with a shotgun approach and got a bunch of pins and stuff here. Let's take a look. That top one sure looks like Cat 2 to me. That'll work. And then, all right, I gotta use both hands to get that up. All right, that's what it looks like. I think we're ready to lift. I'm gonna revisit these once I get it off the pallets, because I think I don't have them set up right. Obviously that one isn't, but I don't think I want sway. Well, I'll talk more about that, my opinion on it anyway, in a second. So I think we're good to lift now. I'll just go ahead and try to lift up and see what happens. All right, so come down here, pull that up some more. Well, that's all the way up. Let's go see if it cleared any. It definitely did move it a little bit. Not as much as I need, though. So let's see. I need it to go higher. I don't think I can get it any higher, though. All right, I have an idea. I'm gonna get my tractor jack back here, lift up back here to try to get the pallet out. All right, so there it is. That doesn't look totally right to me. I think it's sitting like that a little bit, which maybe if I shorten the top link up some more. Let's try to set it down some. Because I'm thinking if I shorten the top length, that'll suck the front of the implement, the mower, this way, maybe raise the back up a little bit more. So let's try to set this thing down. Looks fine, I guess. Work on this. All right, I think I mostly got it. Probably a little bit of tweaking, maybe loosening that top link up a little bit. I was just kind of guessing, moving stuff around, but here's where I landed. The ass end of it, when it's up in the full upright position, looks like it's just sticking up a little bit more than maybe it should, but we'll have to tweak it later. I learned that these screw out, so that explained why one side was a little longer than the other. So I screwed this adjustable link here, it's just threaded out a little bit, and I moved each pin into the free float position on both, but it's just about maxed out, so it doesn't float as much as it did before. You know, it can move a little bit side to side, but not a whole lot. So I think that's probably optimal. I had to switch this around. I had it wrong side, so I had to flip it. Yeah, so I think the next thing to do now, I had to break out the manual, the John Deere manual, is to figure out if I can get into that gearbox and see if there's oil. And I don't think I have the right size socket or wrench, so we're gonna see what I can dig up here. Okay, got the drive shaft connected. It was kind of a bear. There's a back here a bolt that you need to take out, and it keys in with the shaft. I lubed it up with some axle or wheel bearing grease. So you gotta fit it in just right. You look down the hole, see the slot, drop the pin in, tighten it. So that locks that side in. This side's got a little spring one, so you got to get it just right on a tractor PTO, get it going, sliding in, push the pin, and then shove it in, and it clicked. So that's locked, that's locked. Put the safety chain here. I'm actually not sure which way the drive shaft turns. Well, hold on. If I look at the blades, I might be able to figure that out. Turn by hand. Here's one right here. It's going counterclockwise. All right, so it looks like counterclockwise. So, no, that was clockwise. Yeah, that's clockwise. So, if it's spinning clockwise, it's going to do this on this protective cover. So I'll leave it like that, and then that shouldn't spin. There's also this one back here, which I got to figure out where to connect it to, but I'm anxious just to engage the PTO real quick and make sure that it actually turns. So I'm going to clean some of this stuff off. I'm going to go in the cab, add idle, we're going to engage PTO, and for the first time, see if everything turns. All right. So I'm going to turn it on. It's going to start to spin. And then I'm gonna sit up, and because I didn't activate the remote PTO, which I think is that button there, it should stop. So let's test that feature. Push down, flick it. It's turning. So I'm gonna sit up off the seat. Still spinning. And it turned off. Okay, good. So if I sit back down, then I would have to turn this off, cycle it again. There we go. And then if I press that, it should run while I'm off. It's spinning. All right. So I'm gonna turn the remote off. Shut that off. It'll spin down. All right, I'm still not sure if there's any grease in the differential gear case, so I gotta figure that out next. Pulled this cap off, and there was a spring underneath it, and some fluid did pop out. So that's a good sign. This is the only other screw I can see down here. So the manual said, look at the bottom screw. It didn't have a picture. And fill it up until fluid comes out of here. So I guess that's the full line, is just, you know, this bottom part down here. So if I open this up, let's see if fluid comes out, hopefully so. Yep, there's fluid in there. So I'm gonna screw that back in. Tighten it back up. Well, I'm gonna try one more thing before I take this on its maiden voyage. Oh, I need to put the cover back on and that safety chain. Let's grab that cover. What I was gonna say though is, so I'm gonna put this cover on and latch that safety chain to somewhere, one of them holes. And I'm gonna try to lower it and thread both of these bars out some, because it's kind of at the maximum end here. I want to try to get a little bit more in the center, and that would be bringing, if I extend them, it'll bring them closer together, I believe, and it'll move a little bit closer. We're ready. I'm going to start by just dragging this thing a little bit. Slow speed, and see how it's moving back there. Try to go a little bit quicker. What I'm gonna do is go, whoops, locking up. Man, I'm glad I got this cab. We splurged on it, but having the AC is awesome. All right. So I'm gonna mow a path. That's what it looks like before, just tall grass down to the pond, because I know that path is relatively clear. So we'll start by engaging the PTO. All right, it's on. And it says, I'm gonna lift it up just a tidbit. We'll see how that cuts. Throttle, so we're gonna bring a little bit of vibration, but I mean, it's a huge thing spinning back there. That's 1500. That's a little bit under what I should be, but let's give it a go. miles an hour. Okay, first run, I have it shut down. This was the height. And you can see the difference. Just this one pass, you know. And this is, oops. I don't know, 1.5 feet high. And now it's maybe 6 inches high. Got our dead alligator over here. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep doing this area and see if anything happens. There's that gator again. So I've kind of been working this corner here by going forward and reverse. There's some trees back there we're gonna try to go over. See what it does. Problem. Look forward. There you go. Kind of a big tree right here. Thunderstorm came along, so I'm in the shipping container. Ran back to it. Mo's been running good. Actually, you can kind of see the dried grass that's been cut so far. So we'll see. So I've done some cutting around other corners and stuff, but this is by the pond. Night and day difference. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for today. No problems. When I get it back inside, I'll do kind of like an overview or whatever, but I don't see any dents or nothing. It hasn't been causing any trouble. I got one more area that I'd like to touch up, and then we'll call it a day. Slowly going, doing the last pass here. And then I'm gonna bring it in. Used about 5 gallons of fuel. That's what it was at when I added 5 earlier. So about 5 gallons of fuel in a couple hours. Turned into a real nice evening after the storm. Well, I went back and looked at the footage. It's been about 4 hours of work, maybe 3.5 with the rain. So what do I think of this thing after about 4 hours of work? Well, I'm glad I bought it. I'm going to clean it off, but the quality I think is great. Probably too soon to tell, but you know, these are American workers doing the welds and doing the machining. And I don't know much about weld, but I mean, here's some close-ups. I believe it is also on the inside. Yep. You can see some paint's been taken off already. I'm gonna get closer to one of them blades. Well, I'm gonna clean this thing up, figure out a way to get all that grass out of the blades. Anyway, before I start to ramble, seems well built, and I'll be putting more hours on it for sure. So there you go.